So, without further ado, how are you, my friend? Where's your volume, bud?
I don't even know where I'm going. I think that I've transitioned out. I don't think I'm an NHL viewer anymore. Primarily part of the WHL now. Victoria Royals is really my where my allegiance stands. I don't think I even have an allegiance to Vancouver anymore. Don't. It's pretty bad. Like we can't even tank right.
I must admit I want to watch the Canucks because they're on TV and we're getting Sportsnet Pacific. They're always on. It's always nice to root for them. Let's try and figure out here what's going on because Mohammed. Well, first of all, I'm always going to be someone who's from Vancouver, so I'll always have the card to support my hometown city. Okay, and if I can't support my hometown city, I can at least support Team Canada every 4 years at the Olympics. That feels pretty good. And I'll always have Team Germany. I'll always have Germany at the World Cup, so I think we're good.
I don't even like at this point. I'm just the Knicks are the only thing that are keeping me alive right now. Even that is like a first round maybe. If we make it past the first round, we won the championship. We won the championship. We win it all. We win it all. But that's a different topic for a different day.
Absolutely.
I don't even know where do you want to begin with Vancouver.
Yeah.
Where do you want to begin?
So I was just wondering what you're thinking about. So this season, I mean, the only real thing that we've been trying to like.
Don't say Connor Bedard.
I wasn't going there. Okay. You know how those old detective movies, they got like a red thread connecting all of the old newspaper clippings. That's what Canucks fans have to deal with right now. All you can do, okay, all that the great city of Vancouver can do is we can get those little red laces, we can put them together, and we can find some consistencies in what the Canucks want and what the Canucks do. So the Canucks go out and they change their coach, and they think that we're going to start something new, and this is going to be our vision for the next few years. We've locked in Miller, so we're stuck with him. We can't trade him. Nobody wants that awful contract. So that means
we haven't even gone through 1 year yet. Only one. We haven't even
we're at
gone through a season, man. We're having discussions about stuff with JT Miller.
The Canucks signed Miller, not even realizing that it was actually 9 years instead of 8. So with that being said, the players, I mean, God bless Kuzmenko. I mean, that guy, like, does anyone like hockey more than Kuzmenko? Did you see that overtime winner against Dallas? Like, the guy is just having a blast. He's going to be a star. He's got 28, 29 goals right now. He wants to win. The Canucks players, they want to win. The Canucks management doesn't want to win. Because all we want is about 0.5 of a better percent chance at a higher lottery pick. But in the meantime, what can the Canucks do? Because we've got these awful contracts like Ekman Larson and Garland and Myers. So, Mohammed, what do you think the Canucks should be doing, should be focusing on this year, next year, and the year after that?
A consistent vision. A consistent and coherent vision. I read a report. I don't even know if this how true this is. But if Pittsburgh was offering a haul of first round picks for JT Miller and we decided to take that down, wow. 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 I mean, like it's just a matter of learning from your mistakes, and I don't think they've done that. Like I think it's safe to say in hockey, pro sports, whatever it is, a perennial rule is a guy in his late 20s. You don't want to be that team that signs him, or his early 30s. You don't want to be that team that signs him in 7 years. You just came out of the Erickson contract. You swap that out with one that's like even worse. Basically, just an Alex Edler with a long last name. So then, this JT Miller thing comes up. You lose your captain because of it, and then you go and flip your first round pick for another defenseman. Don't get me wrong. Having a right-handed defenseman is good, but like
Hronik's in his prime. That's the problem. And it's like
exactly, but
the Canucks can't. The Canucks should be getting a 20-year-old defender, like almost a prospect. If they're going to be trading, like the first round pick that they got from the Horvat
in this year's draft.
Yeah, but it's the Horvat pick, so
it's not like any other draft.
Yeah, so the Islanders, so that'll be like the 20th pick probably.
It's still pretty good pick. And
Yeah,
from what I heard this year's draft, I mean, when you have lottery stacked drafts, there's always going to be that one team that's going to overvalue a guy that's supposed to be projected in the late 20s, and they take him in the 10s. Something will eventually fall, but I don't think they have an understanding because Aquilini has this distorted. I think I have PTSD from the word retooling and rebuilding. I don't even want to hear it anymore. I just want to either build or
exactly. A consistent vision. That's exactly, retooling isn't a vision. It's just an excuse. It's like dog ate my homework level. Let's be honest.
no. I think even if I was GM, if I ever had the opportunity to be a general manager of the Vancouver Canucks right now, you put GMO in the building. Aquilini, don't make me declare to be a GM because if they do, then it's a wrap. Then it's a wrap, and I'm taking over the whole NHL. But in terms of, in all seriousness, in terms of the team, I think it's just a consistent and coherent vision. I don't think they have an idea of what they're doing because you have conflicting guys in management who think now is our time, like we can win now, and then other guys going, we have no shot, zero. What are we doing? You trade your captain for a first. Right after they traded Horvat, I was like, okay, rebuilding. We're going another 5 years. This is that, and then you go and trade that first. Like this is what would happen if you went on Twitter and said, what can we not do? Like, what should we not do with our first round pick? And they did exactly that, right? So, and I'm not one to dog on unpopular decisions for management because there's some stuff that we just don't know. Maybe that's the case right now, and there's some happening that we just don't have any idea of. But it's time and time and time and time again. These guys continue to get into bad blunders, bad decisions, and it just sets us back another couple of years, another couple of years, and another couple of years as a fan base and as a team. And I just think they just need to have a clear, coherent vision. If you want to go and tank all your first round picks and sign some like mid player to an overvalued contract and you think you're going to win, okay, at least go all in that decision instead of trading your captain and then keeping JT. It's just it's a confusing time, man.
Yeah, honestly, the management needs someone to stir it up. Definitely a different perspective. It's almost like the fan perspective. That's another thing that I've been picking up on. Just like not necessarily us media people, but fans and what the people want, because the fans are very important. But to Rutherford, when Boudreau was being completely tumultuously let go, publicly shamed the way that he was, it was almost like, oh, I don't care what the media or what reporters are saying about this firing that's about to happen. It's like, okay, you can disregard a reporter who's just trying to get you to say something, but what about the fans that are having to witness this? And it's like a disconnect from the people, and that's almost just I don't want to say that Boudreau being let go, that's bleeding over to the rest of this season, because there's really nothing that Tocchet has been able to do. And I think I agree with what you were saying because of how the Canucks, they're not good. They're rebuilding. They need to cut this denial thing. They need to have a consistent vision. And I mean, personally, I just think that it's going to be a lot better in the next 3 or 4 years. As long it's almost like a lottery, because these picks may be good and they may not be good, no matter what position you're in. And that's just the uncertainty of sport. That's why this rebuilding process has been taking so long. That's why we've been through all these general managers. But the thing is, it is going to look a whole lot better when exactly, it's inconsistent. But as soon as these bad contracts go out, it's just a matter of good ones being available and making the right choices. And sometimes the payoff is there, sometimes it isn't. But I wanted to get your opinion on the new super team in the Eastern Conference. Patrick Kane going to the Rangers. I mean, like, come on, like this seems ridiculous here. Like how many more superstars do you need on a team? There's too many cooks in the kitchen here. What's the power play? Going to be a 5-man forward power play here? So as soon as Pat Kane starts playing with the Rangers, I'm thinking, okay, this is going to be the Phoenix Suns. Every loss is going to be an embarrassment because we got a new super team formation here. So what do you think about the Rangers? They add a super team. Does that kind of thing translate into hockey? Does it matter? Is Kane going to be a huge factor?
I think the addition of Patrick Kane from a hockey standpoint is very valuable. 3 chips, consistent, like dog of a player in terms of just a guy that just is he's a point getter. Um, but in terms of the East, like I'm finding it funny how a lot of these teams, like in both the NHL and making a lot of parallels to the NBA, but I'm finding it interesting how a lot of teams are going all in at a time when like everyone is stacked. Like who's beating Thanos? Boston.
Exactly.
That's what I think. It's like, okay, you guys have a super team, fine, but in a 7 game series against, I don't know, do you even beat Toronto? I mean, outside everyone beats Toronto, but in terms of like every other team, it's like, do you even like, I don't know, like do you go 7 games with Boston? Can you beat them? And then can you go through Carolina? Can you go through like so? It's a lot of different things you gotta have to deal with if you're New York. I just find it interesting the timing of like, let's go all in now when everyone else is when there's still like 3 to 4 teams that are better than you. So, I mean, we'll have to see how it plays out. Like, I'd be ignorant to think that a first seed would that someone would just win just because they're the first seed. So who knows? I don't really. I think it definitely makes them better, but
Yeah. Why do you think perhaps the Kane is cup chasing though? Like it seems kind of a little odd.
I mean, staying in Chicago after all that came out about the team, I, I like. I thought there might have been a time bomb as both Taves and Kane after everything came out about them, and I think that now that Taves is out with long COVID, you can't even play with him. There's the Taves is out with long COVID. You're losing. You might like in terms of if I'm him, I might as well like leave and see if I could make something else happen and get back to those days of winning cups and winning chips. But then again, like does New York get you that ticket?
I mean, I'm just waiting, looking forward to another 5 or 6 weeks from now when the first round happens, and how many of these good teams are going to be out in the first round? Like it's going to be crazy.
Who knows, man? Who knows? But in terms of the Canucks, man, it breaks my heart because it makes me think. Like 4 years ago, it was 2019. We were all still in the same like one day, like, and then 2 years before, one day, and it's like when with Vancouver, it's like you're not listening to the fans. You're not for 9 plus years, 10 years, damn near a decade. I don't know. It's exhausting. That's why I'm cheering for the Victoria Royals WHL. We are unfortunately not doing as great as we want to, but I'm still still rooting for my new league hockey league I care about. WHL.
Hey, we all need a change of scenery, and I think we can all appreciate just putting our chips, just taking some of them out from the Canucks, not putting all of our eggs in their basket, and just let's almost relax here. Like let's just appreciate like what we have. It's a great hockey league. It's a great sport, and the Canucks just aren't the best team, and they're not going to be good this year or next year
Until I come in and be a GM.
until Mohammed comes in and being GM. All right, bro. I know you got to. I know you got to head out. Thanks so much for coming on.
Got you, boss. Take care and shout out to the No Show Pod.
Absolutely.
Peace out.
Thanks, Mohammed. Okay. Well, I mean, it's like Mohammed was just touching on. He was saying how like 2019, absolutely right. 2020, the bubble Canucks. They beat, who was it? They went to the semis against Vegas. Like that was such a good team. They were figuring out. I'm pretty sure Demko was in net. Tanev was on that team. They just figured it out. They beat Minnesota in the first round. I'm pretty sure it was. I would have to look back, but that was kind of as good as the Canucks were going to be. And we don't know. We can't see for any sort of reason if the Canucks are going to return to that, because that bubble team, when they just went the distance with all of these guys, and they were able to make some noise and look good. And that's when I was like, okay, they're turning it around. They're going to be back next year. We'll be checking in on how well a lot of these good teams that have made big moves, the New Jerseys and the New York Rangers of the world, how have they been doing since this trade deadline, since the acquisition of superstars, where they've been moving around, and we're gonna be keeping up with that. So much more to go on the No Show.